Dalton, hey, good to see you. I'm curious from a football perspective. Now that Juwan has opted out, would you expect, given your experience in college, to get some work at tackle in camp? And what would your comfort level in a game be if you had to play there?
Yeah, I think it's next man up. It's good to see all y'all as well. The smiling faces, I love y'all, man. Good to see you. But at the same time, I think it's next man up when you're in the NFL. We can only have a certain amount of active guys. I believe this year is about 8, right? We're going to have about 8 active offensive linemen, if I know right, maybe 7, unless that's changed a little bit. So whenever you're playing 7 or 8 guys, you got to be able to play multiple positions. So I know Munchak expects me to be able to hop in at center at any point, hop in at tackle at any point. And there's multiple guys that play different positions across the O-line. So, I'm upset that, Juwan isn't going to be playing with us, unfortunately. I love that guy, but I respect his decision. And the NFL is all about next man up. We talked to him after he made his decision, and he told us, next man up. I hope you guys respect my decision and you guys go get it. So that's exactly what we're going to do is we're going to go get after it.
Next up, we got Mike Kliss, 9 News, followed by Nick Kosminer. Mike, go.
Dalton, I know you've been around some of the newer weapons that management brought in for the offense. You got a feeling for how it's going to be on offense this year with the new guys?
I think it's going to be great. I'm a really big believer, fellas, and everybody in this Zoom, that, man, we got to go out there and prove it. We went 7-9 last year. We didn't do what the Denver Broncos were supposed to do. We didn't uphold that legacy of what we're about. We're not a team that wants to go 7-9. So we can make, off-season additions. We can make draft additions and free agent additions, but that doesn't mean anything until we work together as a team and we go play the Titans on Monday night. So I'm excited that we have these new guys that have came in that bring a lot of talent to the table. I think Drew has grown a lot. I think that we've grown as a team in a lot of areas, but we got to go be about it. So, yes, there's excitement, but right now we're working to become more of a team. We haven't seen each other in 5-6 months, so we're working to get back together and gel more and more, and then we're going to want to go prove it on Monday night.
Next up, Nick Kosminer with The Athletic, followed by Kyle Newman. Nick, go ahead, please.
Hey, Dalton, new guy on the beat here, so it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
When the pandemic began, how did you sort of what was your process in terms of how you went about deciding how you were going to get your work in, how you were going to kind of organize your preparation for the season, given all, the restrictions that were going on?
Most definitely. I mean, this pandemic has affected people not only in the state, obviously worldwide, globally. And, whenever this first came out, I don't think anyone really knew how bad this was going to be. And if any of you guys did, then congrats, you guys read the future. But for me, I didn't know how bad this would be. I didn't know that it would get to a point where we might not, have certain seasons, or like Colorado high school football got moved to the spring or whatever it is. I had no idea it would get this bad. So, of course, I took that very seriously. I know that people have lost their jobs. I know multiple of even family members of mine have been affected by this. Family members of mine have been affected by their job security. I know that a lot of people have been affected. So I try to take it as serious as I can. I'm going to wear my mask. I'm going to do that, whenever in terms of going to work out. I was actually in Kansas City at the time, and I would go to the gym early in the morning, and he was pretty good about it. He was already getting it sanitized. There were certain codes and regulations for him to even have people in the gym. So I'd go in at 5-6 in the morning when no one was there, get my workout in, try to sanitize, get back, and to really just not do as much as I can. I'm a goer. I'm someone that likes to travel, likes to go do a lot of things, be productive, and I unfortunately spent a lot of time inside the house, man. So I'm really trying to take it as serious as I can.
Next up, Kyle Newman, Denver Post, followed by Brandon Cristal. Kyle, go ahead, please.
Hey, Dalton, 2-part question for you. So obviously a lot of hype around Drew Lock entering this year. As an offensive line, what kind of onus do you guys take on yourselves to, make sure he stays upright and he can fulfill some of that hype? And then secondly, you mentioned high school football getting pushed to the spring. I know you're a diehard Colorado Preps football fan. What do you think about that?
Yeah, when it comes to Drew, I think he deserves the hype. I think he played 5 games last year and really proved that he was about it. I think he has a lot more to prove this year, and I know that Drew's going to step up to the plate and do that. I think he's worked extremely hard off the field this year in the off season with everything like that. Since he showed up, I've seen more of a leadership side from Drew, and I'm extremely excited to see what he does. So as an offensive line, we got to take that upon ourselves. I don't just say that with no weight. Like, that carries some serious weight with me. I want to be able to protect Drew this year. I want to be able to give him time to make those plays. John Elway and Coach Fangio, they went after and got some tools for us on offense. And if we can give them time to make something happen, I think we can really make something shake with the guys that we have. Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay, Royce Freeman, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick, Deshaun Hamilton. I could go on and on Noah Fant, all these guys that we went out and got, those are my brothers. And as an offensive line, we're the down and dirty guys. We got to get after it, make sure we give them time to make things happen. And when it comes to high school football, I was really bummed. I love going back and watching Wiggins football games, and I get into it, and I'm slapping hands before the game. You'd think I was a coach, man. I love it so much. So it's really unfortunate, but, I just did a video yesterday for Chasta, and I wanted to let them know that, I'm there for them, and we got to stay strong. I know that there's a lot of guys trying to get scholarships and, make their way to play college football or really just have those memories that we got to have. So I hope that their season goes well. They can continue to work out and make football happen in the spring.
Next up, Brandon Cristal, KOA, followed by Troy Rank. Brandon, go ahead.
Hey, Dalton. I'm curious about some of the new guys. Why don't you tell us about Graham Glasgow, who obviously played a lot of snaps, and then Lloyd Cushenberry, who has a good chance to be the guy next to you, maybe for a long, long time at center.
Man, Brandon, I was waiting for someone to ask something about the O-line, man. I appreciate it, man. Graham Glasgow he's awesome, man. He's a character. I'm going to learn so much from Graham in terms of leadership. He's already he's already mentoring me in terms of how to handle myself in the off season with workouts and stretching and massaging. And I'm going to learn a lot from that guy. He's a great player. He's really smart. He's really calm and collected. He's not going to show a lot of emotion. He's always going to be rocking the mustache. He's not going to be too high or too low. And he's going to he's going to be a great mediator for the group. He's going to be a great leader. I'm excited to lead right next to him. Really, really excited to learn a lot from him. So Graham brings a lot to the table. Whenever we picked him up and someone tweeted, we're getting a very consistent player in Graham Glasgow, that dude's going to be a very consistent player, on the football field and just with who he is. I think that's awesome. And Lloyd Cushenberry has been extremely impressive. You can tell that he knows his stuff. I wanted to think that I came in and I had it down really, really quick, but that guy has it down really quick, man. He's getting it, and he's making sure that we got some snacks in the O-line room. He's had some dip for me as well, so I really appreciate him for that. But no, he's doing a heck of a job, man. I got a lot of, he's got a lot of talent. It's kind of hard right now, Brandon, because we don't have helmets on, and we're kind of going through walkthroughs and trying to get down the play. So it's kind of hard before you get padded up, but I think he'll be a really good player for us.
Next up, Troy Rank, followed by Andrew Mays. Troy, go ahead.
Dalton, good to see you, big guy. How are you?
Good to see you, Troy, my guy.
So when you finally get back to camp, you're with your guys again. What are your goals now after a year? We think about a year ago, you're just trying to work your way into the lineup and learn how to be. Now, how has it changed a year later? What are your goals as you try to help this team get a winning record and back to the playoffs?
For sure, man. Last year I wanted to pay my dues. I wanted to earn the respect of Von Miller and Ron Leary and Jawan James and Philip Lindsay. And, I wanted to earn the respect of guys on the team. And I really wanted to fill my role as a second-round pick and come in and be a starter. And, I accomplished that, and I did start all season. But, man, I watched some of my film from last year, and to be honest, I shake my head. I'm like, I have so much to improve upon. I could be so much better of a player than I was. And, this year I want to have a good season as a team. That's my main overall thing. I don't care if we go, 2-14 and I might be a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro. I don't care, man. I want to be able to go and be a 12, 14 win team this year and be able to do the things that I know we're capable of. Of course, as an individual, I want to improve on so many areas, and that will help us win, whether that's pulling, being more aggressive on linebackers, having the confidence in myself that I can play in this league and I can come off the ball and drive a guy 5 yards off the ball, not to be hesitant. I could get into the nitty gritty of the offensive line details of how I want to be better, but most importantly, I want to be better as a team, and I want to get the Broncos back to being playoff contenders and Super Bowl contenders.
Andrew Mason, go ahead, please.
Hey, Dalton, you talked about how you are excited to lead right next to Graham Glasgow on the offensive line. Last year, what did you learn about what leadership requires at this level compared to the college level, and what kind of leader do you think you're going to be as the years go forward?
I really appreciate that. That's a great question, Andrew. I was a leader 3 years at Kansas State, or a captain, whatever you want to call it, and I feel like I've learned a lot about leadership. What I noticed from day one here about the NFL is that you got to have respect, and that's really similar to college as well, but it's on a very, very more escalated level in the NFL. You got to be able to pay your dues. You got to be able to have someone look at you and be like, that guy's put in his time here. He's proved to us that he'll work his ass off in practice, and he'll put his body on the line in the game. When he's hurting, he's going to push through. And even when we're 0-5, he's going to continue to be positive and be a guy that works his ass off day in and day out. And that's what I did all last year. I'll be honest. I probably didn't provide as much leadership last year as I wanted to. I feel like me with Garrett, being on the left side, I feel like I provided him some leadership. I think he'd say that too. But with the whole team, I probably didn't. And this year, a huge goal of mine is I want to become that leader. I feel like I paid my dues last year. I did the rookie duties that I was required to do. I worked my ass off day in and day out. I played 16 games of the season. And this year, I want to be able to be a voice on the offense, not just the offensive line. I want to help run that room with Graham. I don't want to be a leader that thinks I have to be the only one leading. I want to lead with Graham. I want other guys to lead on that offensive line too, because that's when you have a great team. I want to lead next to Cortland on the offense. That's a great leader on the offense. Drew Lock is going to emerge into being a leader. Philip Lindsay. We got new guys as well. We got Melvin coming in. We got Nick Vanette, who's a veteran that came in at tight end. So I just want my voice to be heard this year. I want to be able to lead when times are tough, when things are down, but when we're losing, I want to be able to be that voice that uplifts my team through the good and the bad, and that's a huge goal of mine this year.
Guys, we got time for a couple more. We'll have Darren McKee followed by Rod Mackey. Darren, go ahead.
Hey, Dalton, I want to go back to Jeff's question at the beginning when he asked you, are you, maybe getting ready to possibly play tackle? And you said, well, yeah, I could play center, I could play tackle. So I do wonder if there's anything specific you're doing to train in those other positions.
Yeah, I think as a football player, one thing for me, just from my perspective for you guys, whether I hear it from a coach or I don't, I'm always going to make sure that I feel like I'm ready to hop in. So when it comes to center, Darren, that's a whole mental side of the football. That takes a lot more mental capacity. You got to call out the mic. You got to be able to know the direction of the play. You start the play. The guards listen to you. They pass it down to the tackle. So whenever I'm in meetings, whenever I'm out there on the field, I make sure that whenever I'm watching and I go out, people talk about mental reps. And for me, I pretend like I'm the center. I'm like, if Munch threw me in at center right now, because for some reason he needed to move guys around, could I be able to call out the mic and call where we were going? So that's a huge part of my everyday process. That's a part of my studying when I'm in the film room and getting snaps. Whether it's I get done with walkthrough and I want to get 10 snaps in real quick. I want to just make sure I get some snaps in under center, shotgun, make sure I can do it. And on top of that, whenever I move to, think about the tackle process. I play right next to Garrett Bowles. That guy, I can play that position. I'm sure he can play guard because we communicate over and over about what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to double team. And for tackle, you got to learn that it's kick sliding. You're dealing with guys like Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, not Mike Purcell and Jarrell Casey. It's a completely different type of style of play. So right now, I wish I could be getting extra reps, one-on-ones at tackle or in individual drills, but we're not into that phase yet. Right now, all we're doing is walkthroughs. So for right now, it's as much as, hey, when I'm done, I'm going to get 5 kick slides left. I'm going to get 5 kick slides right. And obviously that'll tone up if Munchak ever comes to me and says, Dalton, I need you to start working at tackle. It's a good chance you go there. Dalton, I need you to go to center because you might be going there. I would definitely tone it up and do more, but I try to stay up to date with both positions.
Last two, Rod Mackey followed by Arnie Stapleton. Rod, go ahead.
Dalton, great to see you. I know your focus is all on football, but being a Colorado guy and the fact that there's been no sports for so long, are you spending any time? Do you get to see? Are you watching the Rockies, the Avs, and Nuggets? Is it exciting for you to see these other teams playing and playing so well right now?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Times are tough, man. Times are tough in this world, and whether we all want to admit it or not, every one of you guys I'm looking at on the screen, you guys are facing a battle of your own. I'm facing a battle of my own too. We don't talk about that. We keep that stuff hidden away, but we all face our battles. And whenever it comes to the Nuggets being able to play, the Rockies being able to play, man, that brings happiness to people. I mean, I have friends that are so excited that they can turn on the TV and watch some baseball or watch some Nuggets. And that's what I'm so excited about the football season is because this can go from being a sport to us literally uplifting the nation, giving some people something to smile about, something to look forward to, because things have been hard. People have lost family members. People have lost jobs. So as long as it keeps everyone safe and healthy and we're not making the problem worse, I want to go out there and have a full 17-game season and go to the Super Bowl and affect lives, man, in a positive way. So it's definitely been hard, but I'm glad that these sports are rolling, and I definitely got a chance to check them out.
Last one, Arnie Stapleton. AP, go ahead, please, Arnie.
Hey, Dalton, good to see you again.
Good to see you, man.
I know you're younger than Garrett, but, he kind of came into the sport a little bit late, and, a lot has been made of how he's this incredible talent, but raw, and he's had the penalty problems and whatnot. But last year, at the end of the year, he really kind of came on strong. like once Drew got into the lineup, I think he played better. What do you expect out of Garrett this year? You talk about how you guys have great communication. Do you see anything different in him, now and based on the way he kind of came on at the end of the last year?
Yeah, I think that Garrett has worked extremely hard, and in him playing better at the end of the season is a testament to his hard work. But I think something that people need to remember is Mike Munchak. That's a factor that we need to remember. That guy's a Hall of Famer. He's got a gold jacket. He's probably going to have 2 gold jackets before he's done with football. And I truly believe that the way Coach Munchak coaches is perfect for Garrett. He's going to call Garrett out when he needs called out. He's going to uplift Garrett when he needs uplifted. He's going to teach Garrett. He knows how to teach the game because he's done it. In fact, he's got a gold jacket from doing it. So, I think Garrett's worked extremely hard. Garrett has a great work ethic, and he continues to work hard and realize what he does wrong, and he wants to be better. He's got a passion for the game. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Garrett. I love that man. But I also think that Mike Munchak helps him a ton. And the more he gets time with Coach Munchak, the better player he's going to be. So I think that you guys will probably see a whole new Garrett Bulls this year. A lot what you guys saw the last 5 games of the season.